Yo, what up? Good morning, GM. Wednesday, most used day of the week, March 12th. Sorry, Wednesday, Adams. 2025, look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. Well, at least it was starting to be, and then Canada said, fuck you. But it's my co-host in the house, Tyler. Logan, good morning. How you doing today?
I'm good. I continue to be surprised by your hatred for Wednesday. I feel like Wednesday is actually like typically like a really big day for us. Like we have like the CPI prints always come in on Wednesday. I feel like Wednesday is always like the pivot day of the week where we get like the news, which is going to dictate what happens for the second half of the week. So I don't know.
I think Thursday is that day. Like you're right. The news cycle is Wednesday. Like Fed, like FOMC usually, all that stuff. But Thursday, I don't know. Turn around Thursday. You know what? I just because like Monday I like because Monday I wake up and it's chaos and I love the smell of napalm in the morning. You know, like there's nothing like that. Like waking up and having to answer to 500 people at like 8 a.m. And then Tuesday is like you're still going, but Wednesday you're like, okay, fine, like bring me Thursday and Friday already. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I need to stop hating on Wednesday and we'll have better Wednesdays. I don't know. Maybe that's the fact. We got a good print this morning and then we're already dumping. So it's also part of this market. But you know what? We will get above that as well. But maybe I need to have I need to ask ChatGPT why I don't like Wednesday so much. Yeah, it's a weird day. Also, it's like, even for my workouts, like Monday, I work on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but then it's Wednesday off. But then what am I supposed to do? Anyways, Logan, what up, man?
Good morning. I'm pretty neutral on Wednesdays. I like that. It's Wednesday, my dudes frog meme. I don't know if you guys know that one or not, but yeah, everything is fine here. No sunshine today, which I guess the market is reflecting a little bit at just this point in time. But temperatures are still pretty good here, so it's really difficult to find too much to complain about.
I asked ChatGPT. Yeah, I mean there is sunshine here today. Finally, it's actually warmer. I guess we got the Chicago heat, but we're getting there. So ChatGPT, why do I dislike Wednesday so much? It's interesting that you dislike Wednesday. That's so funny. Midweek slump. Hump day. Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like in the middle. It's like, okay, well, lack of progress. Sometimes Wednesday feels like this week isn't progressing quickly enough, and then it feels far away. Okay, cool. I mean, I don't work for weekends, but yeah, it could be it. It could be it. Routine burnout. If your week follows a pretty repetitive routine, Wednesdays might feel like a reminder that you're still in the thick of it. That could be it. It's like you're still in the thick of it, you know? It's like, damn, like, okay, I'm in the middle of it all. That could be it. That could be it. The midweek blues. Anyways, today on the show, today, market report. We'll talk about this. Tariffs top 1,000. We got a lot to talk about with CPI print. We got the market that pumped and immediately started to dump. Some thoughts on the market. We got to talk about the weekly runner. Not even daily runner, it's a monthly runner.
Yeah.
Tyler needs to let it off his chest. Okay. He wants to do a 10-minute segment on Please. So we're gonna have to do that. And he has a thesis to share with y'all. I hope you guys are ready. Sit tight. And then no gas, but robot spin. So hopefully someone wins a crypto punk today on the show, or maybe I'll fuck around. I yet have to make the spin. I'll try and put maybe some fun stuff in there. And last but not least, this show is powered by Galaxis. Galaxis, a Web3 platform empowering creators and brands to build unstoppable communities with full ownership and independence, trusted by icons like Donald Trump, Steve Aoki, Mike Tyson, and the NBA, shaping together the future of engagement. Speaking of NBA, I'm watching this awesome show on Netflix, guys. You guys should watch it. Babe, what is the show called? Shit, listen, Running Point.
It's so good that neither of you know the name of the show.
But it's amazing. Like, if I could, I would stay up all night. It's called The Running Point. It's with Kit Hudson, and it's about this like rich family. The dad dies. They own an NBA team in LA, but then the sister takes over as president, and nobody believes in her because she's a female, but she cooks. And it's amazing. It's feel good. 28-minute episodes. Highly recommend. That was speaking of the NBA because of Galaxy. Shout out to Galaxy. But also we're also sponsored by Wallet Connect. Wallet Connect is the connectivity network. That was funny. Shaping the future of on-chain UX. If you've connected to Web3 app, you've seen Wallet Connect. That blue logo, it's everywhere. An icon of trust in crypto, as recognizable as Visa as checkout. Want to learn more? Follow Wallet Connect on X and Telegram to stay ahead of what's next. Tyler, you tell me what's next.
For daily NFT and crypto analysis. Tyler T on FOMO Hour on the Kids Game Mix.
Bring it back to Bears. All right, top story. CPI came in. Folks, inflation in the United States is going down. The numbers came in under expectation. Crypto stocks briefly rallied on the news, but are actively reversing. You hate to see it. We did see some big action in alts, folks. Pi up 20%. Ron and Tia up 15% on the day. So some big movement in alts. Wow. There is a very interesting situation that played out on Hyperliquid. We'll have to dive into this. It looks like Hyperliquid was hit with a $4 million loss after a $200 million whale ETH
that was crazy
unwinded. So that caught some attention on the timeline. In macro news, it looks like no more White House crypto summits. One-time thing. Future summits will be smaller and more focused, according to Bo Hines. We saw the House Financial Services Committee. They're officially discussing stablecoin regulation, reviewing bills like Stable and Genius Acts. So those are live under review. The SEC did delay its decisions on XRP, Solana, and Cardano ETFs. It looks like those might be closer to the October timeframe at this point. We saw Coinbase launch crypto trading in India, a big launch for them. Second big or biggest country in the world.
It's a huge market, right?
Yeah, it's potentially very big. Fidelity filed for an ETH staking ETF. We talked about yesterday. Bitwise debuted that new ETF, which follows 21 companies holding Bitcoin. Cantor Fitzgerald announced it will utilize Anchorage Digital for its Bitcoin finance business. $2 billion in additional financing anticipated. Texas is back, reintroduced its second crypto reserve bill. This one proposing up to $250 million in buying of Bitcoin and crypto. So that first bill just opens the door for this. This is the one that actually would dictate actual buying. So this one is bigger from a purchase standpoint. And then our friend Logan, a new report, he wrote about this. Geo-blocking cost U.S. users billions of dollars in crypto airdrops. So we're going to have to dive into that. In token and protocol news, Pudgy Penguins partnered with Shopify Pay and Helio to enable paying with Pingu on the official Pudgy Penguin store, along with thousands of other Shopify stores. Wintermute created a Wildcat V2 market. They're seeking $75 million in public credit via offering APRs on USDC, ETH, and Bitcoin. Kaido released a real-time data API to be used by their applications. And then Mesh raised $82 million in a Series B led by Paradigm as they look to expand their stablecoin payments globally. Rounding up the rest of the headlines across AI and memes, I think the headline in AI, Binance delisting several base AI tokens.
Really?
And Vader, kind of in a broader sign of market decline. Memes were mostly green. Saylor was the overnight runner. I missed this one. Soared 31,000%, hit $10 million. Please. Arguably the biggest winner, though, on the day, up 100%. Mm-hmm. Saw it hit 44 million right ahead of the show. And then DRB from Grok continues to lead action on base. It was up 30% to 34 million this morning as well. And NFTs, I think we broke the news yesterday, but Taproot Wizards announced their upcoming ordinals mint. It's going to be priced at 0.2 Bitcoin. Not a cheap price tag, 2,121 in supply. That is our
wow. Number. Wow. They're cooking. Wow. There's a lot to take in here. Let's quickly talk about CPI. If you want to explain those figures for the rest of us. I just see a bunch of numbers on the board. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? So apparently it came in good.
Yeah, the headline was U.S. CPI came in at 2.8% year over year. Estimates were 2.9%. And then core CPI at 3.1% year over year. Estimates were 3.2%. So still pretty close to in line, but coming in under. I think, stepping back, what that means is we're inflating at 2.8%. Looking at this one core metric year over year. And I think what Powell's target is 2%. So we're making pretty significant progress to get down to that number. So the good cost of goods is maybe not going down, but it's not increasing as fast as it was. So you go to the store, you go to pay for gas. Then we talked about this on the show yesterday. We nailed this. Turns out gas prices are at a 4-year low in the US right now.
Wow.
So like that is significant. And prices starting to come down is one of the impacts of Trump policies that are being put in place right now. That is what will enable Powell to cut rates and drive rates down, which is clearly what Bessent and Trump are trying to do in the market right now. So progress is being made. What we wanted to fade was a surprise CPI hot print. And I think still the concern over tariffs is that they will drive inflation up. This tariff game, it seems like it takes more curves and twists every day. Like yesterday, it looked like Trump was maybe going to walk some of it back. Now, I missed the headline this morning, Froke. You were talking about
because it happened like 5 seconds before I launched the show. Yeah.
So what was that one?
That Canada is gonna impose retaliatory. Is that how you say it? Retaliatory tariffs on the USA, 25% on aluminum and steel. It's about on $30 billion worth of goods, actually.
Yeah.
Let me get you the actual headline. The headline reads, God damn, so many posts. Canada announces 25% reciprocal tariffs on $29.8 billion of United States imports, including steel and aluminum. The tariffs take effect tomorrow.
Okay.
So
tariffs are coming. It's hard to get too excited about inflation coming down until we see the impacts of these tariffs.
And they talked about selling someone just mentioned, but I saw that too. They talk about selling $400 billion worth of U.S. bonds as well.
Mm-hmm.
They talked about it. Doesn't mean they're gonna do it, but they definitely.
So trade wars keep happening. The stock market opened up green, and then it is reversing. I see the S&P up about 0.4%. Somewhat notably, talked about this yesterday. So like the Mag 7 is down 20% from peak. NVIDIA and Tesla were up quite a bit. Ahead of the show, they were up about 6 to 8%. So they are outperforming the S&P. They're outperforming crypto majors as well. Taking a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up 2.5%, but giving back gains. So Bitcoin did hit 84K right on the back of that CPI. Everyone went max long. Those max longs are actively getting wiped out. ETH basically even on the day at 1885. Hard coin to pump, slowing at 125, up 3%. So it looks like the chop and downturn is going to continue. This soft CPI print wasn't enough. To really move that. I don't think that's a large surprise. And then, Folk, I saw you shared some macro thoughts this morning.
Yeah.
Those.
Just like I'm not an analyst, I'm not a trader like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do participate in the trade every day of my life since 4 years, right? And we do host this show since 3+ years. But I just read some thoughts from Ovi, and I was looking at everything right now. It's just my gut feeling. I was talking about it with Ovi in private. And he's like, "Yeah, you're right." Like he kind of agrees with me. It's just saying like, I'm looking at all of this, and obviously I'm looking at these charts every day. Don't mind the lines, just my personal mental. Like, don't use these lines as your lines, please. I'm not a trader. Like, I don't do astrology. I actually I'm waiting for the blood moon. I do real astrology, but basically I look at everything. I just don't think there's been enough pain / like reset. Like a reset takes time. When was Libra? I was in Paris, so it was exactly about a month ago, right? If I'm not mistaken. Not even, by the way. No, it was during my brother's birthday. It's February 20th, so it's been 3 weeks. It's like a 3-week reset. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not in terms of, I just see it from a term of time and that the market needs to heal. Yesterday, Beanie posted something about the Kelster Ventures wallets cashed out a bunch of vaults and taking their money and how nothing's been done yet. Like nothing's been even done about this just yet. So I think about all these different things and I'm like, there needs to be a reset, and the reset is the healthiest thing, right? Just like in your personal life, when you do a little health check and you know, I don't know, you got to water fast some shit and you need to reset your body. Like, I don't know, like it takes some time. So that's how I see it. And also, Trump economics are volatile. So it's like the way down is fast. The way up will probably be fast as well. You're never going to time it, which is why people preach DCA, but you don't know when. So maybe one day in 2 months we'll wake up and we'll be pumping 10% per major. I don't know. So it just doesn't feel like it's out. And I guess I was right because 20 minutes later, there was the tariffs on Canada, the tariffs that came out. Like we're trading headlines right now. That's the worst thing. That literally means like that's the worst thing. You're not even trading technical fundamentals. You're trading headlines. The U.S. markets are not really recovering. Tesla did bottom for a bit, and there's like a recovery bounce on that as well. So that's you're right. So there will be bounces. Like Bitcoin just bounced from 77 to 83K. That's a big move. Solana bounced from 113 to 130. That's a big move. It is a different situation of its own, right? Alts moved quite big, which is good. But there's just not enough juice right now to keep the things going. Also, like every single time there's a tiny bit of a bounce, everybody goes long. I mean, Wizard of Soho posted he shares this often. There's $100 million worth of longs as soon as we pump like 2%. Like you can't keep doing this in the hyper liquid situation that we'll talk about, but people keep going long absurd amounts of money. So there's a natural thing, but then you zoom out and you're like, well, what Tyler keeps talking about, like Rumble bought Bitcoin, and governments are buying Bitcoin, laws are passing in Congress that they want to buy Bitcoins. The Texas, Oklahoma, all these states are probably going to start buying Bitcoin at some point. The trenches will heal. There's a runner, please, love to see that. DRB, love to see that. Like there is signs of life, right? But it's gonna take a bit. We're in the middle of a trade war. And we're gonna have to wait a little bit. That's just the way I see it. So it's not even bearish. It's just like my outlook will never change. But there's definitely, lack of appetite right now in the market.
Yeah, I mean, I think that lines up with a lot of POVs I've seen. So Kathy Wood, Dickert had a nice article kind of summarizing her thoughts yesterday. She basically thinks we're at the tail end of a rolling recession. She's looking to AI productivity gains as the catalyst for what is going to drive a potential rebound in a deflationary rebound in H2. So July, which is what, 3 months away, 3 or 4 months
so
away?
Many roads lead to the summer. Yeah. Everybody's talking about May, June, like July. Like it's just like it's funny, but ironically, we're talking about the summer as well early on the show this year. Or like end of year last year, we were talking about this. So we're making jokes about it, but it looks like it's starting to happen. We were really joking about how June is going to be recovery.
I know when Mando first said that we're just going to imagine what shopping for 6 to 9 months would do.
That's when the joke started, right?
And I didn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it.
I had 1% belief in that at the time. Yeah.
It looks like that very well could be the case. So like as much as I want a V-shaped recovery starting in 2 weeks, right, lining up with like the M2 bottom.
Maybe an uptrend starts in 2 weeks though, Tyler. Like you may be right in the sense that maybe slowly, it won't be V-shape, but maybe slowly. We need this trade war shit to be done. Like, Trump is good for a lot of good reasons. Like he's cleaning house, he's resetting the thing, but that comes at a cost. Yeah. And just now you either believe that he's going to do the right thing. I know now as soon as sentiment is shifting, like we love Trump when he pumps our bags and we hate Trump the second the market's down. But what if in 3 months it works?
Yeah.
So
I think it can. And like, while I still think, my base case now is probably like chop decline through June, I guess is probably.
But how much lower, right? Like 77 was so low. Like I think because crypto sells off before everything, right, guys? Like crypto's 24/7. We're the higher source asset. So we get hammered the most. Yeah. So 77K to me is close to a bottom. It's not, but it's close. 113? Solana went to 113. Like from 290, you know what I mean? So we've seen a correction here. It was one of the rare times I actually agreed with Arthur. Arthur Hayes said, yo, this is a proper bull run. Like Arthur said, 73K is going to be a stone cold bottom because that's going to be a 30% pullback, 36% correction from 110K all-time high, which is very normal for bull market. I actually agree with him. Now, I didn't agree with him then. Now I'm the fuck, he's right.
I agree. So I think we're in a good DCA spot. Like, I don't think like this is not the time to go 100x long, right? We're going to
nor sell the bottom.
But yeah, I think we're much closer to the bottom than we are to what the next top is going to be, for sure. I think we'll see a nice recovery on this. And like you just mentioned, Bitcoin's down 30. I mean, at 77, it was down a full 30%. It's down 25% right now. I mean, Tesla is another major, right? And that's why we're talking about it. Tesla was down 55%. That seems like a pretty decent spot to start to DCA in if you think that company is going to continue to be important over the next decade. They just came out and said they're going to double production of cars this year over last year. NVIDIA down 25%. Like the reason I'm saying this is like I think there's some people maybe coming to realization that we're going into this downturn but we've been in a downturn for 3 months.
Yeah.
That's my point. So like these assets are down quite a bit from their local tops, which I think is some hopium here. Even if we do chop decline for another 2 to 3 months, I don't think it's my base case is not another 25% down from here for these assets. I think that would be, that's more than a recession. That's like starting to like a depression. I would be in a depression.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Bitcoin could go down another 10%, really, but that'll be like 30% total. It's just, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we keep building, you know? That's it. There's nothing else we can do. We keep it on. Anyways, what else is good in this world right now? There's
good for price action. These companies keep piling in to Bitcoin. So shaky traders might be selling, but more and more companies are acquiring. I think Rumble was the latest. They acquired 17 million, I believe was the number of Bitcoin. I think Metaplanet bought more in the last day. So that's going to continue. We saw Texas introduce this new Bitcoin bill where they can purchase up to 250 million. This is just one state. But their first Bitcoin bill, which opens the door for this, got very strong approval. I don't think it's been completely signed, but there are signs of optimism there in that state. So those are positive news. I thought the White House Crypto Summit was positive news.
Yeah, I agree.
They're not going to do any more big crypto summits with all of these heads. The vision is they're going to do smaller working groups, basically. Bring in the folks that need to be in the room talking about these specific issues. I believe they said mining, investment, and stablecoins, I think were the three initial areas. I'll have to go back to the article that they are going to be focusing on. Which the mining, I mean, shout out to Mando. That was one of his big predictions. I didn't see a whole lot of other people really talking about that.
Yeah, Mara was in the room the other day. And I think they're big Bitcoin miners, right?
Yeah, the largest.
Well,
right?
At
least
they're
in terms
the
of
largest.
holdings. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mara was in the room the other day at the summit. But what do you guys think? I mean, Logan, what do you make of the news? I thought it was really good. That's why I commented on Tyler's post.
I think the other part here that is, I don't know, maybe not super important from like an actionable perspective, but just from a crypto Twitter participation perspective is that you're not going to get the major headline that we all got so excited, that most of the timeline got so excited for and got over their skis about what would come of it. These things that are a little bit smaller, maybe chip away at things with a much clearer focus, protects us a little from over expecting and maybe them from over promising as well. So
yeah,
I like this versus what we had seen previously, which felt like maybe more pomp and circumstance than any real substance. Right? This feels more like substance to me, or at least in that direction, which I'm a fan of.
Yeah, and I mentioned this yesterday, like in my replies. Everyone was just racing to dunk on the White House summit and people like groveling in front of Trump. But like the reality is like this was a kickoff meeting for a larger initiative. You got all the stakeholders in the room. You've got the head of the project with Trump in the room. It's 15 minutes. You get the stakeholders, you align on the vision, and then you go on, with your life. And then when the real action gets done in smaller working groups over the coming weeks.
Yeah.
Like wearing my consultant hat. That's how projects were kicked off and executed, right? So
look, they didn't tell us, hey, we're going to come and pump your bags ahead of the summit. They said there's a summit, but we decided that they're going to go and pump our bags,
Eric Trump did say buy the dirt.
Yeah, that is true. That is Eric's tweet. Eric, fuck, Eric's tweets are crazy. I've been revisiting some of his tweets.
Oh no.
It's pretty wild. Like just a 9 to 5 one and like thank me later tweet on Ethereum. That is yeah. I mean, he wasn't there. He's not really part of the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just our KOL. KOLs aren't always in the room. That may be a shocker to some folks.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you can, while we're chatting, World Liberty FI is down substantially on their investments.
I saw that.
I think they're down like 100 million.
No, the post was saying 300 or 400, but it's probably a little more now.
you think they're down more than $300 million?
Well, because when the post was made, I'm pretty sure ETH hadn't crashed again. Because
And it
ETH
needs
is
to
their
continue
biggest
to
position.
fire. Yeah. And their average is probably like 3K or I mean, it's got to be in the high twos at a minimum.
Let me find it. I don't know. There was yeah, I forget what it was, but someone put a post out from their buys. I mean, if you think about it, remember the big integration post about like $67 million worth of BTC, 47 mil worth of this, 47 mil of that. Those are all down probably 50%.
I don't think this is up to date because they did a lot of transfers and stuff. If you guys recall,
Yeah, and
some
they're
angst
buying
on
dips
timeline.
too.
But at least the deployer wallet that Arkham tracks has the profit and loss around 50 million. That's just
okay.
That's just this wallet though, or this
Okay.
collection of wallets. So I don't believe that's cumulative across all holdings. I'm sure it's larger than that. But at least for those that it's tracking under this entity labeled World Liberty Fi, it has it around 50 million.
Yeah. Okay. Every time I scroll through my page, there's like another Please meme. And it's so funny.
We'll get there in a second.
It's just so funny.
These macro headlines here. The Coinbase India news is important. We need to talk about that briefly.
I didn't see that.
So they registered with India's Financial Intelligence Unit, their FIU, to enable crypto trading services in India, which they are describing as one of the most dynamic markets for crypto and on-chain innovation. I think the takeaway here, man, I've been saying this, Coinbase is cooking right now, and they're like accelerating is how I would describe it. Like they're getting into tokenized assets, on-chain trading 24/7. Like that's clearly a direction for them. They just rolled out their perps product for Bitcoin and ETH. Now they're getting into India. This is in like two months since Trump was inaugurated, and we finally got the signals from the SEC.
Yeah,
they aren't going to go after them, right? So I am impressed with the speed at which they're moving right now, and I expect it to continue. So
yeah,
bullish Coinbase,
and they are in the room where it's happening very clearly. Brian is he's right there alongside. I mean, you can say what you will about the pay for play type thing. I mean, they obviously participated quite heavily in the
I mean, that's
election
just capitalism, right?
yeah, I know, but I mean, it's paid off thus far, and likely for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, it looks like, folks, some breaking news here.
What?
DB just tweeted, Coinbase's rival Binance just got backed with a $2 billion investment from Abu Dhabi's MGX. That's the single largest investment into a crypto company and the largest investment ever paid in crypto.
Holy shit, that's a big investment.
Yes. I'm not as familiar with MGX here.
It's their isn't there their own exchange? AI Advanced Technology Investor. Oh no, it said the Abu Dhabi. Oh, that's M3, sorry, or M2. MGX, the Abu Dhabi-based AI and advanced technology investor, have announced a landmark $2 billion. Wow, that's a big ass investment. Wow.
It really is.
Wow, $2 billion investment. Damn.
So big money across the globe is piling in.
But you see, that's the thing. Like, all the little things, man. All the little things. It's the little things that make something great, right? Wow, this is good news. I mean, good for Binance. I mean, it's funny you're talking about Coinbase and this comes out, and then we have to talk about Hyperliquid. But that is some good news. Wow, $2 billion investment. Damn.
It's big. I think it has to be seen as a positive sign.
Huh.
That there are a lot of people who believe that this crypto industry is not going to zero.
I mean, it's definitely not. Yeah. I mean, especially with all the stablecoin news that are coming out nonstop and everything. You know, the secret killer here is Besant, man. I don't know. I feel like he's gonna do well. I don't know. We'll see. But he was calling for just 0.25% tariffs, by the way. I saw an article from FT from back then. But I think Besant's gonna do well with the USA. We'll see. But strikes me off as someone who wants to make it happen. Anyways, Mr. Tyler, speaking of exchanges, what the fuck is going on Hyperliquid?
Yeah,
That was crazy. I read
great
up on this
seg.
this morning. Like, wow. Can you like TLDR for people who may not understand, including me?
Yes. So Hyperliquid, they came out and made a clarifying post kind of explaining. So it looks
Yes, they
like
did.
this trader, OXF3, F4, they went long a substantial amount of Ethereum. I think 200 million with, it looks like up to 40x leverage. I'll have to get the exact.
$300 million liquidation.
So they had unrealized P&L. They withdrew, which lowered their margin, and they were liquidated. So this was a liquidation that happened on purpose. So like, this is a rare case, a very extreme case. And through this HLP, the Hyperliquid, the version of JLP effectively lost $4 million over the past 24 hours. I think that was largely driven because of this trade. So it seems like this actor did this on purpose. It was, attack is maybe the wrong word because we think about that more for exploits and hacks.
I mean, he's just a trade. He did it. Yeah.
It was a trade to kind of go after Hyperliquid to a degree. It looks like Hype has responded by lowering their max leverage. So for Bitcoin, it's going to be lowered to 40x, ETH lowered to 25x. To increase maintenance margin requirements for larger positions.
So correct me if I'm wrong. He went giga long, which pulls the order books up, people to copy trade and follow it up because of 300 million. It's like an insane, absurd long on Hyperliquid. He was shorting ETH on Binance, apparently, or he was shorting ETH. I don't know. I don't want to say Binance, but that's what I read. So call it whatever platform. He's shorting ETH like crazy. He removed some of his margin. Therefore, his liquidation price goes higher. He gets clapped there, tanking the market, and he's got a short at the same time printing. He's taking Hyperliquid was this 4 million, and you could argue that he could even be short Hyperliquid itself, Hype itself from the FUD. Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened. And as a result, Hyperliquid had to take on that Ethereum position.
Correct, and therefore they lost $4 million in the midst of that.
Right. So then they had to go and then sell that. Effectively, that's how they lost the $4 million. So like we've talked about JLP on the show, right? We praise that product. Part of the reason why people are like it is you get the fees from perps trading, but you can also take losses.
Yeah.
When the perps books get hit, and that's what happened on Hyperliquid here.
Yeah, there's a good thread here, but. Okay, so he made. Okay, so all of this from $2 million. Wow, interesting.
Yeah, so the trader ended up making money. That's quite the trade that they were able to pull off here. So then there's the tinfoil hats is that Binance was behind this or
tinfoil. Well, yeah, good thing calling it tinfoil because that's Binance, but it could be Binance. He could have hedged on any.
Platform. Yeah, we don't know.
Right, we don't know that. Wow. Whale games, but you see, like this market is so fucked up right now. Like, back to the point I was kind of making earlier, it's like there's so much going on. There's so much weird shit going on. Like I don't know. I hate to trade this.
Yeah, one of the impacts. So like I've seen a lot of people already kind of calling for Hyperliquid to adjust their margin requirements and how high you can go. And I've seen like a model proposed where for larger size, you lower those multiples, and then you can keep the 50x's, capped under a certain amount. So I am curious if we'll see more updates coming from Hyperliquid after they've had a chance to process this.
This is why I was saying yesterday I like the prediction market stuff, because there is always somebody smarter than you. There's always somebody who's thought through every second order effect. And I'm not claiming market manipulation or anything like that, but just like these are games that the average person can't play, right? You
could call it manipulation. Yeah,
sure. Right. But even aside, I mean, seems like it's above board, fair, or whatever. For the most part, somebody just took advantage of what was there. And kudos to smart people who can figure those things out. That is not me. So I
Spe-
know where I need to be, and it's not doing that.
Speaking of which, I'm surprised that after all this like stuff this morning, no one's slamming the no here on the sub 80K on Sunday.
It's coming.
You know,
I
because
was just thinking how I might take more.
because the yes is, I was surprised, guys. I thought more people, because I'm on the yes. Well, I'm not actually on the yes, but mentally I'm on the yes. But like, I was surprised because I thought more people would be on the no side here, given how bearish the timeline is. Like, what's the F and G at?
It's
I went up.
tough.
What?
Yeah, that's surprising. You know why that's so surprising is Coin Market Cap has it at 19, extreme fear.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see alternative so much.
Yeah. Look, I don't know the difference between the two. I just rather go by alternative because that's the OG.
Sure.
And CoinMarketCap is owned by Binance. So there's this whole thing. But you're right. Like, that's actually interesting because usually CoinMarketCap is higher. I guess maybe because, you know what? You're right. There was so much fear. And I feel like now we've just accepted it.
Maybe that is right. You know, maybe we all just accepted.
Like,
where we're
talk about
at
you guys.
in this
How do you
downtrend.
guys feel? You guys seem cautious, but not fearful to me, both of you. Am I right?
I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle somewhere. Maybe slightly bearish. Just because I think there's so much uncertainty, and every day, as you know, we've been talking about on this show, every day brings something new. And the good news isn't good enough for the price. You know what I mean? Call that expectations from market participants or whatever the case is. It's just so that's why I think I'm like slightly bearish, just from an emotional standpoint. I'd probably be to the left of that, but otherwise, I don't feel bad. You know, like I'm long Bitcoin long term. I'm not like selling bags or anything. I'm just here. So.
All right. I love that. What about you, Tyler? How do you feel?
Yeah, I think I've gone through all the emotions of the full market cycle. Anger, capitulation. I don't think I ever really got to depression.
No, not yet.
It's not really. Life's too good to be depressed over coin prices. So I don't think I'll get there. But I'm kind of like in an acceptance phase is how I would describe it. Like, we're likely going into this downturn. Maybe it's a recession. Recession is 2 quarters of negative GDP. Seems possible. I've accepted that, but I'm not selling. Like I'm still holding my long positions. I'm not a swing trader, so definitely long Bitcoin, long a couple of fun new meme coins. So there is some excitement in my life. And maybe we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So I'm still, I'm cautiously playing still and holding mostly.
I love that. I got to post this market. This is interesting. I'm just thinking about how I'm the same. I don't know where I'm at on that fear and greed index. I'm not going to give myself a number, but that the 30s, actually not fear. Well, I'm just there. I'm just there for the ride.
I'm probably a little lower than that, I guess, from how I'm acting. Because like in a greed mode, I would be like more aggressively buying, I guess, like, knowing myself. I'm not really aggressively buying much. I'm not like full on selling. So maybe I'm like 25, 30. Maybe 34 is right. I don't know.
I love that. This is great. I mean, look, speaking of this, I mean, you say this, but you are in the trenches, Tyler. I feel like this is the perfect segue here. Before I go there, though, I do want to give the code out. So rafflebot.xyz, rafflebot.xyz. The code is PWEASE, 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 in honor of, look at it. Hate to be that guy that I missed the code today. You did not, King. The code is right there in front of you. It's now here for the first time, PWEASE. So all you have to do is go to rafflebot.xyz, enter your X, enter the code PWEASE, and every single Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we give away either Red Guy or CryptoPunk. It's that simple. And Friday, someone won a CryptoPunk. We've given 3 CryptoPunks away. We gave about $1.5 million away in the last year. So yeah, I do love PWEASE. I just own 0. But I love the meme. I was telling Tyler this morning, I'm like, fuck here. Did you say sad? But anyways, that's the code. That's the code. Tyler, I'm giving this up to you because you're quite the PWEASE guy here.
Everybody buys Please at the price they deserve, Farouk. So you deserve a little higher. Like the news here is that Please did hit a new all-time high briefly this morning after the CPI news came in. It hit 44 million. It has been consistently one of the top movers on the Solana volume board, Solana Dex board. It's like $20 million in the last. It's showing signs of life. So when it first came out and hit 30 million and then started going straight down, right? Everyone's like the consensus narrative was, okay, this is just a sign of where the trenches are. 30 million is the highest we can get a coin now. And this one is going to fail like all the others. But it looks like the meme itself, like let's put the token aside for a second. The meme itself is showing real strength. It's hilarious. Its adoption is accelerating. And like we had GD, the news over the weekend was he officially like endorsed the meme. Again, not the token. He endorsed the meme by posting like that Leonardo DiCaprio posting meme with his the meme is hilarious. It is very organic. From a pure meme standpoint, this is one of the best memes we've seen in years. I think that's objectively true.
I agree with you.
Even Fartcoin. Now I'm gonna pivot back to token talk a little bit.
Yeah,
Fartcoin is hilarious, but it's not like as much of a meme. It's just tied to like fart jokes, right? Like so, like I wouldn't describe it as more of like a pure meme. Please is a meme, right? Or this Vans, like whatever we want to call it. Like this is a meme.
Oh my god,
people are having fun with it.
Is this on TikTok yet?
I don't know. I don't have TikTok, but
me neither. I mean, it's in our circles. I'm just wondering. It hasn't been sent to me elsewhere yet. You know what I mean?
You think this is only CT?
No, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sort of asking. I'm not.
I don't know.
I think this is permeated beyond CT.
I mean, we have hundreds of people listening to us on video and audio. You guys let us know. Like, have you seen this tweet, this meme permeate on outside of CT?
I mean, Vance isn't tweeting something he saw on CT.
I mean, they are on Twitter, this administration. Yeah, you're right.
And then if you want to show, I mean, the chart does look
let's go. Let's go back to the chart here.
like,
It looks good, dude. This is just higher highs every time. I'd love to see that.
higher highs,
here.
higher lows.
Wow, what happened here? Was there a catalyst here? Was that when he posted?
Yes. So that is when Vance posted it. And then the second leg up was when Elon retweeted it.
Wow.
So like that is definitely what kind of brought it back to life. Like you can see it in the charts there. Like it was kind of a slow bleed out. Why I like this is so it's 10 days old. You've had folks be able to accumulate this in that sub $20 million range. You've had time for the early buyers to start to be able to sell this thing. Now, with all this being said, obviously this meme coin market is total garbage, right?
Of course.
Like this is not like there are going to be lower entries, like for sure. Like this thing is going to continue to dip. Maybe it makes new lows. Maybe it goes straight to zero. I don't know. But it is a very fun meme, and the chart looks good.
I like it. I love it. Actually, I don't have it. I don't own it. I haven't bought anything or traded in forever. But I think it's great. I think it's so funny. I think you need that, right? Like also, like we talked about this in the chat, but may as well talk about it here. Like you need like the daily runner shit is horrible for the trenches. Memes don't work. Why did Pepe work? Pepe was on its own lane. It was Pepe, then Turbo came out. Remember, that's it. And then out of nowhere, Stam's Mog.
Mm-hmm.
Mog went from $0 to $1.5 billion in a year and a half. It took, and then went to 40 mil. I remember that because I was in that 1 mil. And then we got the mega retrace, like 12 mil. Then we had 6 months of 12 mil. Paid. And then we started grinding up all the way to Coinbase, let's say $1.5 billion. But even that took months. So it's like, you got to have that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I love this in the meme. I am rooting for this meme. I hope this meme goes to $1 billion. Now, in this environment, probably won't. But I'm just saying, like, I want it. And it's really good. And I do think this has a chance to go higher. Now, look, tomorrow Bitcoin goes to 73K. Priest is getting fucking slapped.
Sure.
But Bitcoin bounces, I think Priest bounces too. Because it bounced with the market this morning. And it bounces with the market every time. and JD Vance ain't going nowhere, right? He's literally the vice president of the United States of America. Now, some people are seeming to say that it's a broader Twitter meme now, not really as much on Instagram and TikTok. But
Sure. That makes sense.
But their bear markets have and downtrends also have memes, meme coins. Meme coins are forever. Memes are forever. Culture doesn't die in the bear market, right? So I like it, dude. I love that you were in it. I think it's so good. I
love that you just called it Bitcoin beta live on the show. So I appreciate
that.
No, you described a Bitcoin beta. You said if Bitcoin goes up, it goes up, and when Bitcoin goes down, that's beta, my friend. You heard it here first. You can blame Farouk if this one fails, like all the others.
I'm never gonna win. Logan, come on, man. Chime in here, dude. Like, save me. Save me. What do you?
Well, I think. Unfortunately, you did sort of say that, but it's the good memes are all sort of Bitcoin beta, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You're okay. I don't think you really stepped out of line. I like this meme as well. I do not own any. I've considered a few times in the various life cycle
I'll buy the
of
dip.
it, participating. I think actually my favorite part about it is I don't know if you've pulled up the Please thing on like CoinGecko, for example. The little image is him in the I don't know what you call those little beanie spinner hats things. It looks ridiculous and hilarious. Yeah, right there at the top. Actually, it's in the top. There you go. I guess it's not a spinner hat, but it's really good.
I see it.
As far as token logos go, it's tough to top that. So
incredible. That's a good logo. Yeah. I know we've got a few minutes left here, and Logan, I want to get to your story here in a second.
Yes,
quickly. Let's quickly talk the AI market because it is getting wrecked. AI 16Z is at 180 million. ARK is about to drop out of the top 10.
Whoa! I haven't followed that.
Yeah, it's down to 69
Banker is cooking though. Banker bot been fucking running like crazy.
Yeah, Banker and Clanker have been strong. Clanker's top 10 coin now. Let's see where Banker is. Banker's top 20. It's actually 4%, but the board looks terrible. And
oh my god,
bubble has burst. And I don't know that these are going to rebound. If I'm being,
I don't know either, dude. I don't know.
I want them to. I would never root for anyone, to lose money. I think Tachi is trying to build a strong product, but the valuation bubble burst, and even ARK. Can you justify a $69 million valuation for ARK and what it's delivered so far?
Did you asking me as a founder or as a trader? Because as a founder, all these valuations are still too high.
I think that's the reality. Yeah,
it's the truth. I mean, there's at some point, when all these things were like 500, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 million, like you guys were attributing $500 million market cap and valuation to an AI reply guy. We talked about this early on, right? Remember when I first really didn't believe in it all, and then I started kind of trading it. But if you go back to that, and I can't even say I told you so, because then I was pilled. I was like, okay, this could work. But I don't think none of us really believe that the valuations were true values, right? Per like what's being built. It's just a mimetic value. We talk about this a lot.
Yeah, they were trading mimetic premiums. I still thought, even knowing it was a bubble, that like
it would last longer.
Like AI 16Z, like the ones that have like who are actually being used, building code bases, I thought they would have a stronger floor than this.
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I.
You're right. It's intense. Wow, look at this. Yeah, it is intense.
Brings up that one. Yeah.
But then you have what? Banker? Is it this one? BNKR, which is killing it. I mean, this is beautiful. It's a great chart.
Like a squeeze chart.
Yeah. So Banker is good. At least, what do you want to like? Is that amidst everything being down, there is still some things that are working and that are going up. And this is what tells me that this is a good sign for me. Now, you can tell me Perma Bull is always looking for the glass half full. Yes. But Clanker, Banker, the DRB shit going on. I have a friend that caught that trade early on, sent it. I didn't buy because I'm not really buying anything right now, but he cooked. He made good money. He wasn't expecting to make, he made what, 10, 20 ETH? That's a lot, fucking ton of money, right? In this market, especially. Look, maybe this is not as nice as a dip right now, but still, like, it was nice, right? Went to nearly 50 million. So I
There's
like
trades
this.
to be made still. Yeah, there's for those who are sticking around and paying attention, like there are opportunities.
And they're easier to catch. Like, it's not like I caught him because I'm not active, but I feel like if I was actually trying, I have caught Please because you were talking about it early on, D's and shit. My homie is like all over DRB and Banker. Like, he's big in the base eco. He trades only base. Like, they're not hard to catch, if you ask me.
There's no noise.
There's no noise. It's not hard to catch.
So like, if you're paying any attention, like it's obvious, like what the top meme coin plays have been for the last week, right?
Yeah.
There's only a handful of options.
Also, they rhyme. Banker and Clanker. Boom. It's that easy.
Beautiful. That's how easy
They
it is.
killed my Henlo though. These fuckers.
But Logan, you got to run us through this geo
Haters.
blocking and how it costs us billions of dollars because I'm pissed.
Let's talk about Logan's story.
Yeah, sure thing. A sad story for U.S. residents, of course. But there's a report from Dragonfly Capital, big VC, of course, crypto VC, about the state of airdrops and the fact that regulatory issues and the lacking of clarity and all that, and geo blocking for big airdrops, Eigenlayer, and they used a sample of 12 Ethereum-based, very notable airdrops, cost U.S. users anywhere from like 1.8 to 2.4 billion in revenue. And on top of that, they go into, and I encourage people to, of course, read my article, but then also to read the report. They point to the lost revenue and tax revenue as well for both states and the federal government, which is on the order of, depending on the estimates you use, and they use some larger data sets as well, could be anywhere from 300 to 1.1 billion for the federal government and around 250 million for state governments that they missed on revenue just because they wouldn't let U.S. users, right? The regulatory issues wouldn't let U.S. users claim tokens. So the really great part about this is, one of the issues I think we have in crypto is, well, many, but one of them is, we are often very, very quick to criticize without potential solutions. Dragonfly actually offers some, kind of regulatory recommendations, to liken airdrops to credit card rewards and things like that. Again, for the sake of time, please go read the article.
No, we can talk about it. This is crazy. I mean, as someone building something, we have to geofence the USA, right?
Why is that?
It's the law. I know this trumps America and they're fixing things for crypto companies, but it's just for now is the law. For example, prediction markets are still not fully legal in the United States of America. So Kalshi won in court and was able to come back. You saw at the end of the elections and run election markets. Kalshi is actually the more legal one when in terms like they're doing. You can't run a sports book really on prediction markets, which is why we're not really doing sports markets. We're doing is F1 is Ferrari going to podium, right? There's nuance to what you can do and can't do, and we're not allowed to serve them. Now we can't control whether people are not going to take a quick flight to Mexico, flap their wings in other sims. But it's just how it is. It sucks. France is the same boat. And a lot of others, for the longest time, we love to say like bring back Biden because the prices are down now with since Donald Trump is in. But dude, like this is all because of the last administration. And it's gonna change. I actually think Locks and I believe that within 3 months there's gonna be a change where we're gonna be able to remove all geofence in America.
I'm hopeful for that. I'm still, so like you described it for prediction markets. I'm still more curious of like a more general protocol. Like, is Jupiter allowed to do an airdrop to U.S. citizens at this point in time?
I think the issue is, and I'm, of course, not a legal or tax expert or whatever.
Of course.
But, I think the issue is just the uncertainty. And so then you place the risk on the protocols, right, themselves, like which protocols are willing to eat that risk at this point in time. And that's what's really difficult. It's like nobody actually knows. Like you could do
risk
it.
That the SEC will come after you. Like that's what you're okay.
Right. Yeah. Not necessarily the SEC, right? But like some regulatory body could potentially sanction you for, securities violations or what that would be. Of course, the SEC, but I don't know, right? That's the risk, and it's sort of outlined a little bit in this report from Dragonfly as well.
Yeah.
Some of those risks, and there's just even now, and the great strides have been taken, right? The SEC has dropped cases against all the major players. Investigations have concluded, but even now, in particular with airdrops, there's not that clarity just isn't there yet. And that's the stuff that's necessary.
Yeah. For what it's worth, I think let's say tomorrow I decide to remove the geofence. I'll talk about our own shit. If I decide to remove the geofence in America and we decide to do a myriad airdrop or a claim, I don't think they'll come after you if you do things right and you're building something good. It's not a Ponzi, it's not a scam, but the risk is still not this. Tomorrow, right now, I called the devs and yo, turn off the geofence in the USA for myriad. I genuinely do not believe they'll come after us, but I'm not willing to risk a 40-person company at the expense of that yet.
Exactly.
It's a big gamble.
You know what I mean? It's a big gamble, and it's not worth it when you have people's lives at risk. People. So it's not worth it. But that's why I'm still bullish, because this administration has actually made a ton of change from a legal framework standpoint. I asked Donald Trump back in September, are you guys going to build legal framework in the USA for crypto? He said yes, and they're doing it, right? This is what's happening. And again, you were saying about the summit thing earlier. Those little more focus group summits are great. I hope there's going to be a summit on prediction market. I was going to be a summit on SAX and DAX and all this stuff. So it's good. And so we're getting there. We're definitely getting there.
I guess that's one of the bull cases for this crypto regulatory framework that Sachs is that he has been asked.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody uses a VPN, right? But I think also a lot of people don't. So a lot of the US,
I think VPN blocks is a hurdle. It blocks people.
It is a hurdle, 100%.
Yeah.
I still get a bunch of people tell me, "Oh, I can't use this and that." I ain't gonna tell you use a VPN. I can't. You know what I mean?
This article on Trump's desk where he can see the tax money that they lost. Right? How good of a pitch is that? It's get a regulatory framework, turn off the geo blocks, and now you increase your tax revenue.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe Doge will be tweeting about this.
Yeah, where's Big Balls? Big Balls.
Yeah, we need to get this in the hands of Trump. Ironically, one of the Doge guys from Montreal, I found out, he went to McGill University. It's funny, right? I'm from Montreal. Anyways, no, I'm not Big Balls. But anyways, that's a great article, Logan. I love it. For people who are curious, I mean, did you post it? I want to retweet it. Anyways, you guys can find it on Logan's X page. It's there for sure. Yep. Anyways, so that's a good roundup, I think. Yeah. Everybody hang tight. Looks like we're selling off a little bit more here.
Oh God. We're down. Bitcoin's back at 81.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Okay. That is absolutely crazy. All right, Sims. Time to give someone some money.
Let's do it.
All right, then again, I gotta go. All right. Hey, let's go, James Rogers. I know this MFer.
Knows that. James.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. James Rogers. Fuck yeah. I love that. Yes. What up? Come on, man. James Rogers listens to the show every day, man.
Let's go.
He is James Rogers. Yes, I know this PFP. He listens every day. Every day. What up, James?
Yo, I'm here. What's up, guys?
Dude, you've been listening to the show for a minute.
Oh yeah. Every day for as long as you guys have been doing it, it feels like, but it feels good to finally get one under the belt.
I think so as well. I feel like you've been following me for 2-3 years now, at least.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, first of all, I appreciate you. We appreciate you. And second of all, why don't we give you a punk today? How do you feel about that?
I'd be okay with that.
So all of a sudden, someone listed a vampire punk at the floor, and I put it on. Yeah, dude. This is actually not a floor punk at all, but I put it in there. So James, you know the drill. It's gonna be a red guy or a punk. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's get it.
Well, it's gonna be a rare guy for you today, James. Congratulations.
Appreciate you guys.
Congratulations, James. Yeah, I guess we gave someone a punk, so it's gonna be 6 months of chop again on Robit spins.
Probably.
Congratulations, James. Thank you so much for listening. You made about $1,000 on the show this morning, so at least you go out a winner this morning. With that, we will see you all tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of FOMO Hour on Rug Radio. Let's go.